You know what time it is? It's Morphin time! Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video for today. Now, today's review is not going to be a Doctor Who review. Unfortunately, although I love Doctor Who so much, I went to see a film today. And you may be thinking, oh, is it going to be another film review? What's it going to be? Many people are going to be a bit angry at me that I'm doing this video, and many people will be happy for me to do this video because I've grown up with a phenomenal franchise that many people absolutely love to bits. Like, it's absolutely an iconic franchise, and many people don't like it. I have no idea why they don't like it. Perhaps it's rubbish, they think it's all childish, and it doesn't really represent them as a fan of this franchise. But me, I was born to love this franchise. Ever since before I got into Doctor Who, this was the franchise which I was into. And I have to say that this franchise is absolutely a worldwide phenomenal. I started watching this when I was at the age of 2, still very young in my childhood, and I watched the very first episode of this franchise, and oh my god, I was in love with this franchise. It was so fantastic, and I just absolutely loved it to bits. Well, you know what I'm on about. I am a lover of the classic, iconic franchise that is Power Rangers. And now back to the thing about Power Rangers. Back in my day, when I was at school, I was playing Power Rangers in the playground, and it was so fun for me to enjoy to be a Power Ranger and play Power Rangers with my friends. But it came to the point where I took it literally too seriously. Like, I was actually hurting people playing Power Rangers, and I didn't know at the time that did I do the right thing. I thought it was just a bit of fun, really. But I actually got called up by the headmaster and told off not to play Power Rangers ever again. Like, I was completely suspended and forced not to watch Power Rangers ever again. So unfortunately, I was called off not to play Power Rangers in the playground. Obviously, I was still stupid at the time, and I didn't know that Power Rangers was still a big thing for people back in the day, like in the 1990s when Power Rangers first aired. Many people were so interested and so into Power Rangers. Like, I was caught on the fandom, like on the edge of my seat. I loved the original Mighty Morphin series of Power Rangers, and wow, it completely blew my mind. And then after every single series after that, I became really more interested in Power Rangers. But it came to the point where my friends told me, when I was still very young, and still to this day, they said, you should never watch Power Rangers again. And I said to them, why? Because it's completely rubbish, it's completely childish, and one thing, you hurt people just by watching this show. They see me as a person who I adore Power Rangers so much, and it came to the point where they started to lose interest in me and started to lose interest with Power Rangers because they really thought it was so rubbish and real childish for me to play Power Rangers and to like Power Rangers, and so they completely left me only because I had a guilty pleasure with Power Rangers, and I felt that I really needed to stop watching Power Rangers, and I just really need to stop, like, completely. And so for the last couple of years, I felt a bit ashamed of myself not playing Power Rangers and not watching Power Rangers. And then when I saw the Power Rangers on TV, like the different kind of series, I thought to myself, should I really be doing what they say and stop watching Power Rangers? And I watched one episode, and again I had this kind of concern, should I watch it or should I not? But then when the movie came out, I was thinking to myself, should I watch Power Rangers? Now, since this trailer's been released just last year, I was so hyped for the Power Rangers movie ever since, like, the movie was released. And wow, was I going to listen to their advice on stop being a Power Ranger? And was I ever going to listen to their advice on stop watching Power Rangers because it's childish? No way, I'm going to scrap their advice and continue watching Power Rangers, and I still do today. even from the original Mighty Morphin series way down to the new series. Although the new series may not capture the iconic Mighty Morphin Power series, it's still a great franchise to watch, and Power Rangers is such an iconic franchise that I absolutely love to bits. And the movie captured the essence of what Power Rangers is really all about. I mean, honestly, the actors and the actresses, the Zords, the suits, wow, the Megazords, everything in this movie was absolutely phenomenal. Like, seriously, like, people probably are watching this right now that what am I talking about is absolutely nonsense, but to me, Power Rangers is an absolute childhood memory of mine, and at a very young age I may be still a lover of Doctor Who, but Power Rangers was my very first memory, and it was such an iconic TV show that I absolutely was hooked up, and I continued to watch it all throughout my childhood. And then when Doctor Who came, I decided to watch Power Rangers and Doctor Who whenever I could, but then Doctor Who really overtook the kind of essence that I love Doctor Who so much, but I also love Power Rangers as well. But I really love Power Rangers, and a couple of moments ago I've been just doing this review. I am actually so hyped to do this review because just moments ago I just finished watching the movie of the Power Rangers, and oh my god, how agitated I am. Look at me, I'm shaking like crazy. Like, it's absolutely eccentric, sensational. Absolutely, like I can't really describe it enough to tell you like what I honestly think about it, like introducing spoilers and stuff. I'm not going to reveal so many spoilers within this review. I'm going to just show what I love about this film, but also there was just some minor bits which they could do a little bit better on. Only from my opinion. I like my overall rating. I know from the critics that I just had a look on early on Google and stuff, they rate this movie like 2 out of 5 rating. I mean, it's good, but not it's satisfaction for them. But for me, wow, one of the best movies I've seen for a long time. I mean, come on, the Power Rangers movie is such an iconic franchise that was I ever going to not watch it? Oh hell yes, I was definitely going to watch it because Power Rangers, I mean, come on, who doesn't like Power Rangers? I mean, from my perspective, I'm 17 years old, and my friends kept telling to me, Alex, you're too old to watch Power Rangers. You should not be watching Power Rangers. Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a newsflash. You can never be too old to like Power Rangers. Power Rangers is such an iconic show that any person from any age range can watch. It's such an iconic franchise that many people really are obsessed with Power Rangers, and many people who are like, meh, it's the Power Rangers, it's okay. But seriously, I'm so hyped and so... You can see how eccentric I am to do this review because I really want to tell you everything about the movie, but trying to stay true to myself. I'm not trying to tell you so many spoilers that I'm going to ruin the surprise for you. I mean, there are a few surprises here and there, but come on, Power Rangers, it's just such an iconic franchise, and this movie is none other than an iconic movie to watch. It's absolutely a phenomenal film. From my perspective, I rate this movie out of 10, 12. Like, I can't really count it on my fingers, to be honest. And it's 12 out of 10 rating. Now, you may think it's impossible. Well, yes, because Power Rangers and Doctor Who, like, I wonder if they can actually do Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Power Rangers and Doctor Who together. Like, don't ever say that in Victory of the Daleks when they had the colourful Daleks coming out of the pods and you see the white, the blue, the yellow and the red Daleks. What would that remind you of? And then suddenly I watched a little YouTube video, and then when those Daleks came out of the pod, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger theme tune came on. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Like, seriously? Oh wow, they actually did that. But that will probably be a reference to Doctor Who meeting Power Rangers. But again, I love the Power Rangers movie, and it's such an iconic movie. Like, I can't really explain how much I absolutely love the Power Rangers so much. Even from the Red Ranger to the Blue Ranger, and even to the girls, the Yellow and the Pink Rangers. I absolutely loved them all. And especially in this movie, I think the actors who played the male Power Rangers are really, really good. Like, not trying to say I'm quite sexist to the Power Rangers, no. I think the girls are also brilliant as well. And so I really like all the Power Rangers and all the actresses and all the actors who played the Power Rangers in this movie. Like, there was one person in particular who called RJ Tyler, who plays the Blue Power Ranger. In my honest opinion, captured the essence on what was a Power Ranger feel like, because he captured for me the essence on how I would react to become a Power Ranger. I noticed from the start of the movie that he was a Power Ranger, and not only that I knew his colour, but from the movie itself I honestly knew that he had that kind of eccentric feeling, that kind of excitement to become a superhero, to become a Power Ranger. And not only he had respect for his character and not only spoke for himself, but also he speaks for the fandom as well. And so you can see how his character can really connect to the fandom, and we can all have that excitement and that feeling of when we can realise that we are the Power Rangers. And from the start, he was a Power Ranger. I mean, just see it through his agitated personality. Like, he was so fantastic. And this movie just has so many different elements with characteristics with the characters. And what I absolutely love is that the movie characters, or the actors, and the Power Rangers in this movie are very similar and different from the original Mighty Morphin series. Like, for example, Billy, the Blue Ranger in the movie, is quite geeky. I know that, but one thing I saw from Billy in this story, that he was more of the Power Ranger essence that I saw of him, and he was very quite sociable, and he could go up to anybody and talk to somebody. But in the original series, you had Billy, who was quite nice and was very shy to communicate with people, and just didn't really think that he would have that fighting essence to become a Power Ranger. And that was something quite similar, but yet different as well. And so you had the different Rangers from the movie and also with the original series as well. And so you can see that Trini, although maybe a great fighter in the original Mighty Morphin series, whereas in this, they actually revealed that Trini was actually gay, and they decided that for her character, she doesn't fully understand who she is. And you can see throughout this movie, she kind of gets to grip that she's non-sociable with anybody. She stays true to herself, and she's trying to think, what is my personality and who I am really? Like, don't really know for certain like who she is. And that's really such of a mystery in this movie, where you don't know the full personality of Trini, but it's just so interesting of how her reactions feel. Just to see her reactions to being around with all of these other people who are destined to become Power Rangers. And Jason, from the start and finish, very encouraging, very helpful, very friendly, and it was just such an iconic moment just to see him transform into the Red Power Ranger. I mean, his character back in the Mighty Morphin series was a really, really good fighter, and in the movie, he is seen as one of an amazing American football player in Angel Grove, and unfortunately was kicked out because of suspension of something he stupidly did and was caught by the police. And so you definitely see a difference and a similarity with the characters from the original Mighty Morphin series, but also from the movie as well. So the directors and the writers definitely wanted to bring some Power Ranger references from the original Mighty Morphin series, but staying true to the original and sticking to what the characters in the movie will react to as the Power Rangers initially. Like in the Mighty Morphin series, the original Mighty Morphin series, it's only about 30 minutes long, whereas in the movie it's around about 2 hours. So you have to have quite a lot of things added to the movie to make it really motivating, and yet create that suspense that really, that are these teenagers ready to become Power Rangers? And what I like about in this is that in the original Mighty Morphin series, you had that they automatically accepted to become Power Rangers, whereas in this, they're quite picky on whether are we ready to become Power Rangers, and do we understand the danger of what's happening to our world if we don't become the Power Rangers. I have to say that the Power Rangers and the suits, if you had the chance to customize the Power Rangers in like an essence where it stays true to the original but takes a modern twist on it, the suits look absolutely incredible. Like seriously, they look absolutely phenomenal. Like, I would seriously take the black outfits and just say, I'm the Black Ranger. And mention about the Black Ranger. The Black Ranger is one person I've not really spoken much about. And I really want to give a shout out to the actor who plays the Black Ranger in the movie, because he's really the mysterious character in the movie. Like, we don't really see him hanging out with Jason as much. Like in the original series, he was more like a mate with Jason and with Billy. But in this, we don't see him that much often, and he doesn't really have that social ability. What I like in this movie is that the original series, all of the friends who were going to become Power Rangers all became friends and knew each other straight from the start. Whereas in the movie, you see everybody's from a different background, and you see that they completely meet each other and all of them are complete strangers to each other. And you see how they're trying to understand each other, and they don't really make friends at all from the get-go. They just don't know who each other are, and they just met randomly out of the blue, and they're trying to figure out, could we be the Power Rangers, or what some strange things going on in Angel Grove. And like, yeah, it gets quite interesting when you see that in the original series, of course, they're already friends, they're destined to become Power Rangers. Are they going to accept being Power Rangers, having access to the morphing grid, the Zords, the Megazords, and the action scenes, all happened within that 30-minute episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the original series. Whereas with this, it takes quite a lot of time for the characters to realise that they can do this. They just had to believe in themselves and truly understand themselves truly before they can morph into Power Rangers. And I didn't really wanted to give out much spoilers, but I just really had to mention that part, because you know that the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is only about 30 minutes long in the original series, but it's a 2-hour movie this is, and you want to see that can this movie live up to the expectations of the original? Oh yeah, it definitely can. And there was one scene of when they had access to the Zords, and during when they were trying to roam around and get to Angel Grove in the Zords, spoiler alert, the classic Mighty Morphin Power Ranger theme tune from the 1995 movie was actually playing in the background. Like, out of instant, it was no remix, no master mix, no dubstep, the classic original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie theme tune, and they completely moved it into that kind of movie sequence when they were riding the Zords to Angel Grove. And speaking of the Zords, they are really, really unique, but staying true to the original as well. And it was really, really interesting to see, will the Zords ever have a few battles with the, with the Goldar? Goldar, in the original series, was very much like the servant towards Rita, and we're getting introduced to all of these new characters as I'm talking right now. You have Rita, you have Goldar, and also you have the Zords. Speaking of Goldar, in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, was more like the servant to Rita Repulsa, and had almost felt like a bear, almost like a lion talking to Rita. And Rita in the original series was very weird and was very annoying, shouting from way across the moon, shouting down to earth like, yo stupid Power Rangers. And Rita, played by Elizabeth Banks in this movie, is absolutely so sinister. Like, you can almost say that she is so sinister, like the Master, like Roger Delgado's Master. She is so sinister and has that, there, you are the Power Rangers. How nice to see you, and you've led right into my trap. And so, I'm quite turned on by, your sinisterness, but yet terrified. So, I like it. It's really great. And just mentioning just, I can't believe I just did that. Like, ooh, Power Rangers, how are you? No, just seriously. I think I just probably should start with that whole Rita Repulsa thing. But yeah, in this movie, we see Rita Repulsa as fully sinister Rita Repulsa. Like, she's full on, like, causing trouble. She's not screaming down from the moon. She's seriously down on Earth causing trouble. Like, really, like, she is such of a badass in this movie. Like, I can't really tell you much more about Rita Repulsa's personality, that otherwise she becomes quite, she's introduced in the first scene, and then you kind of see that she gets killed off, unfortunately. Spoiler alert if I wanted to ruin it that there for you, but sorry about that, it's already been said. And when the action scenes, she becomes really of the threatening force. And just to say this out, you may be thinking, well, where's the Green Ranger? Surely the Green Ranger must be in this. And I really like how her costume is almost representing herself as the Green Evil Ranger. Because I like it when you had in the original Mighty Morphin series, you had one Green Ranger, an evil, dark, evil Ranger created by Rita and used to destroy the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and wanted power, destined power to destroy Zordon on the command center. And in this movie, Rita kind of captured in her costume the essence of what she is as the evil Green Ranger in the original Mighty Morphin series. And so that was really something I absolutely loved, and it just looked really, really fantastic. Again, Rita is so fantastic, really sinister, and she really adds to that sinister threat as like Roger Delgado is in Doctor Who. And you can just see how Rita is down on Earth and she's causing trouble, like really serious mayhem, like destroy them! Like, you can see her screaming, and there's always the one or classic lines of where you have Zordon's like, you must become the Power Rangers. You have Alpha Fighter like, ay ay ay, and like Rita Repulsa's like, make my monster grow! Like, you get those back from the original Mighty Morphin series, and I just like it when they have those little one-liners in the movie. I think that was something good to like about the movie. But also, not only it had references from the original Mighty Morphin series, but also it had references towards the other seasons of the Power Rangers, such as like Zeo, where they introduced the Zeo Crystal, which was actually going to be introduced for the second or the fourth season of Power Rangers, called Power Rangers Zeo. Just to point that out there for you. And one thing that I just have to, I'm not trying to be picky or anything like that, but it's just that there was a bully in this movie, and unfortunately his name wasn't Bulk or Skull. Come on, man! I mean, it was so easy. It's such an easy setup. All you had to do was just put the name Bulk or Skull with that bully, and that would have been so perfect. I think his name was kind of like Kowalski or something. Like, come on, man! You just could have just had like Bulk or Skull named the bully or something. Like, come on! Just name him Bulk or Skull, because Bulk and Skull are actually the classic bullies from the original Mighty Morphin series. And whenever you see them in a couple of their scenes in all of the episodes, they're absolutely so hilarious. Like, everything that they say is absolutely hilarious and makes the Power Rangers so entertaining, and were always so many funny jokes within the movie that really cranked me up and made me laugh. And although I was surrounded only by 6 people in the cinemas when I watched this, but I completely laughed out loud, and it was so hilarious because there were some lines of when Zach and Billy went, they were swimming around in the pool of water, and in the trailer they said like, oh, I'm black. What? I am. Like, no you're not. I am. Like, just one of a racist joke, like a race joke, but nothing that much too offensive, but it's absolutely an amazing film. So speaking with the Zords, what I like that it was quite different from the original Mighty Morphin series. Like, whenever they had the Zords, in a couple of all of the episodes they had, they would usually go straight to Megazord and fight the monster. Whereas in the movie, you had a little play around with the Zords just to see how would the pterodactyl fly, and see all of the Zords have a different aspect within the fight in Angel Grove. And when the fight scene actually comes, when the Zords are actually fighting the gold creature called Goldar, who is actually one of Rita's servants, and he speaks in more of a gorilla kind of voice, didn't really have much personality, but still had that kind of evilness from Goldar, which I didn't really see of in the Mighty Morphin series. I thought he was quite of an easy villain, didn't really have much of a threatening force, but in this, kind of had a much revamped adaptation of Goldar to become a much menacing force, and that's what I really liked. And I think within the movie, you have things that stay true to the original, but are taken to another level to make the film more awesome. And that's what the key points about this movie is so key, about adding new concepts and adding a new personality change to all the characters to make them quite different. And in particular, Kimberly, who was really special and really fantastic in ballet in the original series, although quite attractive at sometimes. Just to mention, I did have a crush on Kimberly back in the original series at the time, just to say that now. But again, I just have to say that Kimberly in this movie, played by Naomi Scott, is absolutely amazing. And she kind of feels like more of the big sister of the Yellow Ranger, and I've seen many interviews of when the Pink Ranger almost feels like one of the persons in control, but you automatically have Jason, who is the Red Ranger, or also seen as the leader. But they all speak true for themselves, and they all speak together as one, and they all really speak as a team, like how a Power Ranger team should. Like, every person should have a voice, and everybody should have a say in what the situation is, and how loads of things can happen within the movie. Like, there were some scenes of when, like, oh yeah, I know how this is going to go, and you honestly know that if something like this is going to happen, you have like a complete faith in you that you know what's going to happen, and then the movie just happens out of nowhere. Like, that doesn't happen in the movie. Like, okay, wow, I didn't see that coming. Like, touche, Power Rangers. Touche. Like, there was loads of scenes when that happened, and especially, I'm not trying to say this as a spoiler or anything, but there was one scene where Billy was trying to find where the location of the Zeo Crystal, like, just to say that the Zeo Crystal is actually featured in the movie, but it's just when they're trying to find the location of where the Zeo Crystal is. I'm not trying to say that is this a spoiler or is it not, but just to say that if you've probably not noticed that there is actually a product placement within this movie, like a product placement sponsored by the Power Rangers the movie, and they have sponsored the movie. And I just want to say that Krispy Kreme donuts are the sponsors of the Power Rangers movie, and they sort of have a product placement within the movie itself. Like, honestly, when Billy was trying to find the location of the Zeo Crystal, and then he looked up and he saw Krispy Kreme donuts, like, I didn't know how the directors or the producers of Power Rangers had the balls to do this. Like, seriously, like, they had the choice to do anything with the movie itself, but a product placement and Krispy Kreme donuts, like they had the balls, they had the guts to do this, and it became to the point where it's so funny. And I was just crying that they absolutely added in Krispy Kreme donuts in the movie. Like, oh my gosh, I was crying out loud laughing with this reaction of Krispy Kreme donuts. Really? As the location for the Zeo Crystal? Like, could you probably like put it down in a pit or something? Or maybe in a safe bank with a lock and key? But really? Krispy Kreme donuts? Well, Power Rangers certainly have balls to do that, and product placements, yeah, Power Rangers certainly have balls to do that. Really fantastic. Just sometimes spoilers, I'm not trying to say that spoilers are accidentally given in what I'm saying to you, but just to keep an eye out for one or two surprises within the movie, because there are some scenes where, especially in the end, you see one or two familiar faces in the crowd where the monster goes down, and you see a few familiar faces from the original Mighty Morphin series. Just something there. I'm not trying to say who it is, but there are a few familiar faces from the Mighty Morphin series. Like, who could that be? Who would that be? Like, you're gonna have to wait and see. You're gonna have to watch the movie for yourself. If you are a big fan of the original Mighty Morphin series, then you probably would recognize, like, who are those people in the crowd. So you probably know what I'm on about, but I'm not gonna say for sure. Gonna just leave it there. I'm trying to say no spoilers whatsoever, but anyway, I absolutely love the Power Rangers movie, and I really want to say that in the movie, although it's 2 hours long, there's a much better way of where they don't really rush things in the original episode of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back in all the way in the 1990s. But with this movie, they take their time and the tempo is quite relaxing, and it's not too fast, it's not rushing to the point where the Power Rangers are getting into the suits, they're riding the Zords and they're forming into the Megazord and battling the monsters. So it's not really like that. It brings up some great suspense. Like they have a few in between scenes of where they're actually exploring, they've actually discovered where are these power coins giving them so much power. They're breaking down the sinks, they're exploding juice cans all around the canteen, they can jump really high like in the trailer, like wow. Like, they didn't do that in the original Mighty Morphin series, but wow, you have so many differences and so many similarities within the movie itself. And there are always some little bits like actually it's going to happen in the movie, but then suddenly you see in the actual movie itself there's no scene of that whatsoever. Like, this was actually one scene of where, I'm not trying to say that, is it a spoiler or is it not, of where the Red Ranger and the Pink Ranger had a little bit of a smoosh. What can I say? I mean, in the trailer, they had a little, I mean, how should I describe it really? But when it came to the actual movie, it's not in the movie. It's certainly not in the movie. I feel like I'm giving so many spoilers that you're going to dislike this video so much. But anyway, you're probably thinking, maybe should I see it for myself and see, are you telling the truth, Alex? Like, I wouldn't be so agitated if I'm not telling the truth. But anyway, I'm absolutely so bad on trying to keep spoilers away from you, but I'm trying to give you so much information that you should definitely go watch the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Not this movie that I'm talking about, not that movie, the movie that's just been released a couple of days ago. Like, seriously, I mean, I only got this, I mean, I bought this in HMV just before I watched the movie, and just thinking about it now, I was thinking, would this be an adaptation of this movie or this movie? But then I was thinking back to the original Mighty Morphin series of where they find the power coins and then they transform first into the Power Rangers, have access to the Zords and beat off all the putties. And mentioning the putties are actually Rita's like made up army, like they're made out of Play-Doh in the original Mighty Morphin series, but in this they're quite shapeless and quite rocket like kind of creatures. The putties aren't exactly putties in my opinion. They're not made out of putty dough, but they're basically made out of rocks and they're quite shapeless, you know, monsters, which I quite like, which is really good because you need a bit of a diverse modernization to the movie itself, like with the suits, with the monsters, and also with Rita Repulsa's costume. You couldn't really have her in like the original costume of where she had all the rags and shouting with her wand, but I think the costumes look absolutely amazing. Just seriously, the red, blue, black, yellow and pink Power Rangers, they look absolutely amazing. And I have to say that everybody who played the Power Rangers in this movie, I have to say that they are absolutely phenomenal in this movie. They have some great moments, they have some bad moments, yes so, but it's such an emotional but awesome movie. And I think two of those actors or actresses, I think Becky G, and who played the yellow Power Ranger, and the red actor who played the red Power Ranger, I'm not sure what his name is, but actually those two Power Rangers, this was actually their first ever movie that they ever appeared in, whilst all the others, they've appeared in other movies, but with those two, this was their first movie overall as an experience for them. So that was really, really good just to see, can they live up to the expectation of being like the leader of the movie. And there was some really great iconic scenes, a lot of great funny jokes, many great references, and again, many spoilers, which I just have to in future keep a secret. I just don't tell you what the secret is of a spoiler. And I think perhaps I'm just really bad on spoilers, but I'm probably just going to put in the title, or probably have by now, just going to put maybe spoilers included. If you don't want to watch, then just turn off the review. Just make sure you just give a like to this video and just basically just switch off. That would be good. But anyway, don't do that. I mean, if you're quite interested in watching the Power Rangers, then I advise you watch the Power Rangers first before watching this video. Actually, that would have worked right now, because I've told you everything and now I've told you this. Well, that's what kind of sucks really for this video, but oh well, never mind. But and now at least you heard these spoilers, you can actually go and watch it for yourself and see if you actually get shocked by the surprises and everything inside the movie, because I've not revealed too much, I hope, but there were just some little references and little spoilers here and there that I just mentioned out. But it's absolutely an amazing film, and for a childhood dream of mine to love Power Rangers, they absolutely did the movie justice. I know many critics of the movie, when they were trying to judge the movie, they rate this movie so low. Like, why? Although maybe some people are quite picky on whether scenes to do, you know, trying to redo some scenes and see if like, oh, maybe they should not add this in or stuff like that. But they had loads of things within the movie that you could probably say, whoa, I didn't see that coming, that was quite different. And so yeah, I really like those kind of scenes where you don't really notice things. And even so, especially in the trailer, when you have some scenes that are actually in the trailer, they're not really in it in the actual movie itself. So you actually get quite surprised by all of that. And so you kind of think like maybe they did just basically put those scenes in there just to make this the whole trailer more engaging, and maybe just to get people into the cinema to watch the Power Rangers movie, but just take them out in the actual film itself. But I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure why they did that, but I'm not trying to be too picky about the Power Rangers, because you can see from my expression that I love the Power Rangers. And my rating for this film is 12 out of 10, which I know of course is impossible. But as a childhood dream of mine, when it comes onto a DVD release, I'm definitely buying it. 100% yes I am. I'm, without a shadow of a doubt, going to collect all of the Power Rangers movies. Like, for this one, they've got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and they've got the Turbo movie as well. But, like, seriously, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like, how can you not like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Just not looking at the white guy, but just looking at pink, yellow, black, red, and blue. Just looking at them, they look so iconic. But then now, like, you look at the Power Rangers now and just see, are the Power Rangers really different from the movie? Like, they are quite different, but still have the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger design within the modern Power Rangers, but just having a modernization of the Power Rangers. That's what I quite like. And the Zords are quite different as well. They have a more metallic status, whereas with the original Power Rangers, the Zords, they were quite almost like robotic, and they didn't really have more of that metallic essence. They felt more realistic and real life Zords, and within this they feel like more of a metallic Zord, which it was quite a nice thing to do. And I think all of the characters in this are absolutely amazing. And speaking of the graphics, when they had to do Zordon's, you know, face moving with all the pixels and the moving from side to side, was actually quite good. I mean, they have some amazing graphic effects in this, absolutely amazing. And I love Alpha 5 because I think his little kind of squeaky voice and like the ay bit from the original Mighty Morphin series kind of came on to me like, hey, I remember that, that's Alpha. And he was just so funny and really kind of like, maybe these humans aren't really the Power Rangers at all. And so yeah, it was kind of a really funny scene to see Alpha being kind of like the idiot and very funny. But again, I love Zordon in this because it feels like much more of a forceful, authoritative threat in this. Like, in the original series, Zordon was very kind and had much of a gentle tone when talking towards the teenagers who were trying to become Power Rangers. Whereas in this, we kind of see Zordon's background, which in the original series we didn't really have a side to look at. Which I thought, knowing about what Zordon is and how he became like this, was actually a really interesting thing to do. And I think that in the Arc 1, I'm actually just calling it like an arc, because you've got like arc 1, which is almost like the beginning of where all of them are introduced and they hardly know each other. And they've got arc 2 where they kind of know each other a little bit and they try to morph, but no, they don't really get that. And so they train and train and train until they realise for themselves how to become Power Rangers and how to morph properly by understanding each other's personal secrets and personal interests. And it's just really the understanding of how them should be working as a team to fight off Rita's evil monsters. And Goldar, I mean, come on, Goldar is like really like deadly and very monstrous in the film, whereas in the original Mighty Morphin series was merely like the kind of wasn't really threatening at all. I really felt that he was almost like the very funny guy when talking to Rita Repulsa, like, "You stupid dingbat." It's just, oh well. But again, Rita Repulsa, Elizabeth Banks does an absolutely phenomenal job on playing Rita Repulsa. I mean, to be honest with you, she is absolutely so sinister as hell. She's like a badass. And the way that she moves and the way she has her destructive force on destroying Angel Grove is so powerful and really sinister. Her character is so fantastic. I can't mention how much I need to say this, but you really need to see her character in the movie, and that's why I definitely highly recommend you should definitely go and watch the movie for yourself. Experience how that inner child of yours who loved Power Rangers when you were such a very small kid, and you want to watch it so badly just to make your inner child so happy of yourself that you finally watched the movie. And I feel right now that my inner child in my body feels so happy and very lively that it's finally saw another Power Rangers movie for once. And I'm never going to listen to my friends ever again on giving me advice that I should not watch Power Rangers. From this movie, I'm never listening to their advice on trying to stop watching Power Rangers, because I've had enough of people saying Power Rangers are rubbish, childish, and you should never watch them ever again. Never listening to that advice again, because truly enough, they don't know what Power Rangers is all about, and I do, from my heart, as a child who loved Power Rangers. I absolutely love the franchise. I absolutely love all the series of all the Power Rangers series, and this movie in particular. I absolutely 100% think that this movie is absolutely awesome. Other people may have other opinions, but in my personal opinion, my honest heart says that you've been waiting for an awesome movie to happen, and this movie has finally received me that awesome achievement that I've watched Power Rangers in a modern style film. Like, seriously, it's absolutely an incredible film. Like, I just can't express enough how seriously so desperate I am to recommend this movie to you. This movie is one in a lifetime opportunity for you to really experience Power Rangers for once. I mean, I may not be the absolutely best guide to giving you so much advice to watch Power Rangers. You may be thinking, I don't want to watch Power Rangers if I've not seen the originals. Well, this movie just really adds some kind of a special message to all of you out there who are not massive fans of Power Rangers, or who have never seen Power Rangers or the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is your chance to really experience what Power Rangers is really all about. It's not only about the Zords or the transformations, the action scenes, although those elements of the Power Rangers are absolutely essential, but it's also understanding that the excitement and you're being so agitated and really eccentric and excited to watch the Power Rangers, because moments like that rarely happen for people like me. Like, I'm 17 years old, and other people much of an older age range hardly like Power Rangers, but I know for some people, mainly people who absolutely love Power Rangers as a kid and still to this age absolutely love Power Rangers. And I think this movie has absolutely motivated me, but also for other people as well, to watch Power Rangers, because it's a worldwide phenomenon that nobody could ever forget, and I will never forget it, because I'm speaking towards you guys from the heart, from my honest deep opinions on Power Rangers. if you guys have seriously enjoyed this video on my deep inner reactions to the Power Rangers movie, then please surely give this video a like. Also comment down below if you've not seen the film, but also maybe do comment down below if you have seen the film. Tell me your opinions of it. I just really am interested just to see your reactions to the film and to see, are you a really big fan of Power Rangers and have you ever been interested? Just please do comment down below, and please do subscribe to my channel, because this is only just a one-off, because this is going to be the only time where I'm going to be speaking about Power Rangers, and all the time I've been talking about Doctor Who related stuff, but I think on this one occasion, in this one separate video, I've given you my full honest reactions, my full inner deep feelings about Power Rangers in this one-off video. I just have to say that although you may not be the massive crazed fan of Power Rangers, if you may not like it or you just hate it, I seriously still advise you to still watch it, because even though you may hate Power Rangers, you'll still get an enjoyment out of it, and there are a few surprises and shocks here and there if you're massive big fans of Power Rangers, and it's such a fantastic movie to watch. And I think this has been one of the best videos that I've ever done for a movie review, trying to give very little spoilers away, but again I failed on the spoilers bits. Absolutely don't trust me to do any more film reviews when I'm trying to give spoilers away. I've got to get better at this. But in this movie where you're so agitated and just jumping up for joy that you absolutely love the film, I just can't control myself from giving you like so many deep spoilers in the film that you may not notice. But those are just some points in the movie where you may think, oh, that's certainly not happened in the trailer. Like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like, oh, wow, oh my gosh. Like, those reactions right there, that's kind of the reaction you will get from the movie. And when the people actually transform into the Power Rangers and they start to fight, this is where I really get on the edge of my seat and I become like, oh my gosh, this is so fantastic. Like, honestly, I'm going so mad and so mental over Power Rangers, and I'm 17 years old. Seriously, should I really stop, or just really, yeah, I think I should just stop right now, because I feel like I've given you guys my honest deep opinions about Power Rangers and its entire franchise. I just really had to say one thing. Thank you very much guys for watching for this video, and if you have not seen the movie, then definitely go and check out the movie for yourself, because it's not only about the suits, not the Zords, not the Megazords. It's the deep inner feeling on learning what it's like to become a Power Ranger, and within all of the people who become the Power Rangers really have a deep journey and a real great experience of what a Power Ranger really is. And this movie certainly captures the iconic Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series from the original episode. And I just have to say, it's absolutely been a pleasure to tell you guys my deep feelings about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and also the movie as well. So thank you guys for watching for this review on the Power Rangers movie, and make sure you do hit that like button. But if you're not a big fan of Power Rangers, but still hit that like button still, because honestly this is only just a one-off video on my channel where I'm ever going to be talking about Power Rangers. But I just have to say, from a personal childhood point of view, my inner deep child is saying to me right now, I'm glad you have watched the Power Rangers movie, because I feel so lively and so energetic to move about and just say this right now, guys. It's morphing time! Yes, it's morphing time indeed. And that was just one thing that I absolutely had to say to finish off this video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching for this video, and I'll see you guys soon for another Doctor Who review. And thank you guys for watching again. Can I really say it again? It's morphing time, baby!